This is A Violent Day in Georgia, written by Adam Chaves. I'm saying you're a Chaves. Having read a little bit of the first page, I'm assuming you're a Chaves and not, as we would in the UK, say Chaves. Interior warehouse night. Mariachi music drones throughout the derelict warehouse. The blaring trumpets and squeezed accordion echo throughout, wheezing life into the decay. An agonizing scream is nearly snuffed out by the music as we follow the song from room to room and hallway to hallway. Another scream, whimpers, metal clatters as we near. A desperate yell rings in our ears, intensifying until pop. Interior warehouse, a tooth skips across a metal tray and smashes into a group of bloodied molars. An assortment of used surgical utensils lay neatly next to the pulled teeth.
Apaga la musica. Stop the music.
The needle's lifted off the record and the music cuts out. Javier, clearly the head honcho here with an all-black suit and Don Draper swagger, sits in front of us, wiping off a bloodied knife with a handkerchief. He lifts up a pant leg and sticks the cleaned blade into a hidden sheath. His posse of bad cabrones stand attentively behind him, patiently awaiting their next order. Gustavo, Paco, and Slim, Javier's right-hand man and victim of ironic nicknames. They sport clear ponchos a la American Psycho. Javier extends the handkerchief to us, only that it's not us sitting across from the heinous cartel fixers, but the restrained, sniveling, tortured man. The tortured man's covered in cuts and bruises, blood pushes through his lips and bloody snot dangles from his nostrils. He flinches at the gesture and looks at the handkerchief in confusion, shifting his gaze to Javier, who in turn sucks his teeth and shakes his head.
Oh God, of course. You'll have to forgive me.
Javier presses the cloth against the tortured man's nose.
Blow.
Man's apprehensive, trying to suppress his crying.
It's okay. Go ahead.
The man blows his nose, stops for a quick whimper and blows it again harder. Javier folds the handkerchief into square to wipe some of the blood off the man's face.
How are you feeling? Can I get you anything? Some water?
No answer.
No? Are you ready to talk yet? I know you feel a little discomfort, but I really honestly feel like communication is the key to a healthy relationship. That's what my wife tells me anyway.
Javier winks and the tortured man snaps, yelling for help.
Jesus.
Javier gags him with the handkerchief.
Why are you so boisterous? Yelling and screaming accomplishes absolutely nothing, sir.
The tortured man lets out a muffled cry for help. Javier turns to his men and shakes his head. Pathetic. He checks his watch.
Well, it's been fun, but we're not getting anywhere. I'm afraid I've other more important obligations to attend to.
The man's muffled shouts give way to more tears. Javier snaps his fingers and Gustavo brings a toiletry bag. The boss opens it up and starts packing the surgical utensils, wiping each one with a new handkerchief.
Have you ever heard of La Familia di Pasquale Durante?
The man continues crying. He's getting snotty again.
It's an old novel from Spain. Mr. Durante is reflecting on his life, the events that led to his arrest and death sentence. You see, he didn't have the best life. Pascal's parents were abusive drunks. His sister turned to prostitution to make ends meet, and his mentally ill brother dies horrifically. He marries but loses both of his kids, for which his wife and mother blame him.
Finished packing up, Javier hands his bag back to Gustavo, who returns to the rest of the henchmen.
Distraught by the deaths, he runs off for some time. When he returns home, he learns that his mother, truly an evil woman, set his wife up with his sister's pimp.
Exterior, in the background, and unbeknownst to the group, we see a face peering in from outside. Exterior warehouse, the dialogue.
He kills the pimp, but serves time for the murder. After he gets out, he remarries, but his mother drives a wedge between them. Finally, coming to terms with his hatred for his mother, he kills her and finds peace. Now in jail, Pascal understands that he is where he is, not just because of his misfortunes, but because he chooses to act. His life, family, and the deaths ultimately took charge. Actions and consequences.
Continues over the following. Dale, a scruffy backwoods redneck type, is looking through the window. He takes a photo with his phone and hops down. He sneaks away and heads for trees in the distance. Under the cover of the woods, he finds his pickup and hops in. Dale takes his phone out to make a call.
Found him.
Interior warehouse. Javier stands, putting his tie on.
My being here tonight is in thanks to my actions and my allegiances. Just how you're here because of your family and your actions to support them. The separate paths we've taken have culminated to this very moment, this intersection of two pasts. Do our actions influence fate? Or does the idea of fate influence our actions? It's a beautiful yet oddly scary thing when you think about it.
He takes a reflective beat before standing with his men. A wider shot reveals the man sitting between two deceased men, both of whom met violent ends.
Unfortunately for you, you're in the wrong family and made the wrong choices. This is where your path ends. I wish our meeting had been a little more fruitful.
Javier puts on an exaggerated smile for the tortured man before leaving. Paco sets the needle back on the record and mariachi music once again fills the room. One by one, the men grab a sledgehammer and power tools. They menacingly approach the tortured man. We cut away to the floor. Crack, muffled screams. A power saw revs up. Blood spatters across the floor. Crimson pools from out of frame and the man goes silent. Fading in the pool of blood, a violent day in Georgia. Exterior warehouse woods.
How do you want to handle this? All right, boss.
Dale starts at the truck and drives off. Fade to over black. Lo-fi hip hop over explosions and gunshots. Fade in. Fade in. Interior, Nico and Tony's home, living room, morning. A framed picture of Nico in his Marines dress blues. Photo on the wall show him with his younger brother Tony and their family. Childhood photos show the two smiling and laughing. The recent pictures show Tony's progression into a delinquent, whereas Nico doesn't seem to smile much these days, as if there's a deep sadness in his eyes. Cut to interior Nico and Tony's home. A stack of dirty dishes sit in the sink. The scribbling on the note on the refrigerator reads, "Please do dishes. Working late will bring dinner. Love, Mom." Tony's hand enters frame to grab a drink from the fridge, and we cut to him walking into the living room. He takes a seat next to his brother, setting the drink on the coffee table and grabbing his controller.
See what Chanel's been posting? Bitch is F-I-N-E. Fine, bro.
Nico grabs his controller, gunshots and explosions roar.
Been hitting her up. Think I'm gonna take her out on Edward on Friday.
Ooh.
Yeah, they opened up a new club while you were gone. Shit's lit. Hookah and the best motherfucking fries.
Fries?
Yeah, man, they got good fries.
Just buy a pack of cigarettes and get some fries from Mickey D's.
Yeah, let me call up some ladies real quick and see how they like shaking ass with Ronnie McFucking Donald.
What about the other clubs? There are like 10 all up and down that street.
2 of them are White Boy Central and the rest have shitty ass fries.
So you judge a club by its fries?
Not just clubs.
Ain't it hard to fuck up fries?
That's what I'm saying, my guy. If a place can fuck up French fries, you think you'd try anything else there?
Bruh, it's a club.
Club, hotel, restaurant, it doesn't matter. French fries, life's criteria.
Gunshots erupt from the TV.
Fuck.
You suck, man. Didn't you just get discharged?
No answer. Nico doesn't even acknowledge him.
I thought they had taught you how to shoot over there. No wonder we're still fucking around with Iraq.
Tony glances at his brother for some sort of response. The rise, anything.
Yo, Nico, I was just fucking with you.
I know.
They play the game a little longer.
So, you okay? You've been looking miserable since you got back.
I'm good.
Don't look like it.
You and Mom, man, drop it.
All right, but just saying.
Nico rolls his eyes in frustration.
If you need to talk, then talk.
No response. Tony's mood tanks and he checks his phone.
Hey man, I forgot to tell you I got a little something going on.
Yeah, with who?
Remember Jackie and Jonah?
Yeah, it's been in a minute. They still doing stupid shit?
A little.
You still doing stupid shit with them?
Nah.
Can I come?
You don't want to do shit for months, but now all of a sudden you want to.
Shit, I don't have to fucking go. Just thought it'd be nice to get out and do something today.
Nah, man, it's
what?
Tony groans like a toddler throwing a fit. He sinks back into the couch and lets the controller fall to the floor.
The hell is wrong with you?
we're doing some stupid shit.
Nico pauses the game.
Before you say anything, no one's gonna get hurt. Nothing's gonna fall back on us. And it'll be easy money.
You don't know that. How do you think Mom's gonna take it when she hears that you're in jail? Or worse?
Nothing's gonna happen. You don't gotta protect me, bro. We handled our shit just fine when you were gone. I gotta get ready.
As he starts walking to his room,
Yo, wait up. I haven't done anything since I got back. Maybe I need to do something stupid like before. Used to feel good.
Well, come on then. I'll let Jackie know you're coming.
Tony leaves the room.
All right. Do I need anything?
Nah, just a little robbery.
Nico gets up. We follow him out of the living room, down the hall into his room, which is way too tidy and clean for the average young adult. His drill sergeant would be proud. Nico reaches into his nightstand and pulls out a pistol, tucking it into his waistband.
You good?
Yeah.
We follow Nico back out of his room. Tony's at the end of the hallway near the living room, smiling ear to ear.
Let's do the damn thing.
Cut to interior Bobby and Marianne's home kitchen. Too Late for Tears plays on the TV. It's the scene where Jane and her husband Alan step onto the boat. Marianne, your typical Southern housewife who lives in elegant fantasies, is mesmerized by the movie. The coffee maker rumbles on behind her. Interior, Bobby and Marianne's home bathroom. The freshly showered Bobby, a goofy sleazeball, and Marianne's husband shaves and sways to some new wave music. He's too into himself, giving off a Buffalo Bill vibe. Interior, Bobby and Marianne's home kitchen. Fixated on the TV, Marianne reaches into a cabinet, but the shelf is empty. She breaks her trance to look. Some bitch never puts the dishes away. Bobby! No response. Deaf as a doornail. Bobby!
Holy hell, what?
Are the dishes clean? Interior, Bobby and Marianne's home bathroom. The music's paused and he's managed to carve out a mustache befitting of a high school sophomore.
How the fuck would I know? Yeah.
He taps his phone and the music plays again. The sway starts and he pulls a glob of hair gel from its jar. Interior, Bobby and Marianne's home kitchen. Marianne spoons sugar into a couple of coffee tumblers while watching the movie. Jane shoots Alan. Marianne smirks and puts the sugar away. She takes the rat poison that was just out of our sight and hides it. She focuses back on the movie. Her phone chimes with a new text from Kirk, and she replies, "It's on, still in Hampton, leaving soon." Hair slicked back, Bobby pompously enters with a briefcase. His wife's amused by the lip fuzz. "What's wrong with your face?" He's a bit hurt, going for a quick feel of the new stash.
It's a mustache?
A smile breaks through. She's holding back a giggle. "Is it?"
You gotta bust my balls every second. They're back in style, Marianne.
I didn't know looking like a 15-year-old was a fashion statement. That's the end of that. Okay, guys. Ian, thoughts?
I had a familiar feel to all of this. It's like I've seen these scenes, certainly the first two scenes, many times. There didn't seem anything different about them. You know, the sort of a typical sort of violent scene, and then these two sort of delinquent characters. There's nothing sort of jumped out as unique to me then. Three very separate, distinct scenes. Now, I think it'd be nice to know how they're going to come together, if they are indeed at this earlier stage, some kind of connection that is revealed, you know, given some hint of connection, because I think at the moment we don't know if one of these is going to be the main story, all three of them come together, there might be another link somewhere else. So I felt that a little bit more information would have been good about what connects these three different groups of people. They're quite distinct. I'm also assuming it's present day or recent past, just by some of the language and some of the references. There's a couple of references I didn't get, and that wouldn't be, you know, and that's because I'm not from, you know, I'm not American, I guess, in some of the sort of media, TV programs, films or something. I didn't get those. So it didn't do anything really for me. I'm not really wanting to see what's going on. I'd like to have had a bit more information at the front end, I think, to keep me interested.
Cool, thank you. John?
Well, first of all, I'd like to apologize for my Mexican slipping into Italian. But I have to unfortunately agree with Ian. It seems like all of the characters are kind of just typecast. They do all literally feel like they could be in any of the movies that you would see something like this in. I don't mean that disrespectfully. I just mean that there's nothing about them that screams individuality.
Okay, cool, thank you. Emma?
Didn't have quite that feeling. I did feel that, yes, obviously things start to, I suppose, you know, nothing new under the sun, but things start to remind you of other things. I was thinking, because I'm quite old, I was thinking, oh, Reservoir Dogs, you know, and things like that you begin to think of, that it reminds you of. But I must admit, maybe I gave it a bit more rope, because I do like mariachi music, which is a strange thing to confess to, but I think it's rather brilliant. You know, I suppose it depends how you use these tropes, doesn't it? You know, the very delicate torturer and things like that. I'm wondering about the title, whether the title is maybe too much giveaway, you know, whether it's like snakes on a plane and that's what we want. I didn't understand something that Nico said that I had to read out. He said, yeah, it's been in a minute, and I'm not sure if that's a typo or whether it's
no, that's slang. It's like
is it like it's been a while?
It's been a
Oh,
while.
right. I didn't say it right because I didn't understand it. But thank you. Yeah, I didn't.
It seems to be a common phrase nowadays. They just go,
Ah.
"Oh, it's been a minute."
Well, it's been a hot minute.
I haven't seen you for like ages.
It hasn't come to Cornwall yet. We're a bit behind.
Well, you're about 5 centuries behind.
We go to London either, do we?
Let's be honest,
right
Emma.
under our heads. But no,
Let's be
I
honest,
like the
Emma.
idea that they might come together and meet. And I did like this idea that, you know, she seems like Marianne seemed like this sort of perfect housewife, and actually she's cheerfully, you know, rat poisoning away. I quite like that. I find that interesting. And how are they all going to mix? So I would give it more rope. But yeah, maybe, you know, it's worth thinking about how you start things, because of how much, you know, I liked it that we didn't get time. I didn't get bored with anybody because, you know, he quite swiftly moved them from group to group. But yeah, I'm interested enough to see how it meshes.
Cool, thank you. Erin?
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I think that maybe you have some characters you've seen before, but I didn't expect it to be so funny. Like, I thought it had like a nice comedy element to it. Like, and especially even like the first opening scene where he's like, you know, Javier is actually quite funny, like, which I didn't, you know, see. I didn't see the comedy coming, and all these characters are so different, which is really interesting. Like everyone was saying, I would love to see what happens and how it intertwines, or if it intertwines. I don't know. And everything, you know, I agree with a lot of what Emma said as well.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, I quite liked it. I thought that I liked the opening, actually. Yes, it's true. We have seen that kind of an opening before. It's a scene that's very familiar to us. But again, I liked the comedy in it as well, which I thought slightly diverted it and did send it down that Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction kind of route. And maybe that was deliberate. I agree. I get the 3 different sections, 3 different groups. I'm not sure in 10 pages you can actually link them. I think, yeah, they're setting those 3 up. and something will come out of it, and there will be a connection at some point. I think one of the ways that it could be done, if I'd say anything, I'd say that there's possibly too much dialogue in each section, and a way to do that is to actually intercut the sections between each other, so that you go from one to another, and then back to the first one, and then to the third one, and then back to the second one, you know, so that you kind of see that there's parallel action happening, and that also speeds you through that process quite quickly and introduces everybody first. There are a couple of places where I'd like to point out formatting issues, only insofar as I think the characters are all named. They're quite good descriptions from what they're doing, but I'd still like to know age, and I'd still like the odd one-word description, which is the main description of them. You know, for instance, you could say Javier 40s thug, or well-dressed thug, or, you know, whatever. It's just that it encapsulates it very quickly. I noticed that Adam, you use passive voice a lot, which is the ing words. So moving, finding, those sorts of things. In scripts, you use active voice. So I'm just going to try and find something now. And the man's apprehensive, trying to suppress his crying. So how you would write that in a script normally is the man is apprehensive, tries to suppress his crying. That's because it's happening at this moment. It has to be active. Scripts are in active voice. There are just a few places, actually in the very first scene, another scream, whimpers, metal clatters, those all need to be in caps, they're sounds. And the only other thing I noticed was that there was a point where I realized that this is actually really well written. If it were a novel, it would be fabulous. And I'm wondering whether you come from a novel writing background or you've got that running in your head, because there's one on page 3, finished packing up, Javier hands his bag back to Gustavo. That is straight out of a novelist's writing book, finished packing up. You have to remember that you have to have a person before the action in scripts, because so it has to be Javier finishes packing up, hands his bag back to Gustavo. It's just the way you do it in scripts, that's all. And again, further down, Dale, a scruffy backwards redneck type, is looking through the window, should be looks through the window. It's just active voice. That's it really on those points. Other than that, yeah, great. I actually would like to know what happens next. Who gets bumped off next? Does Mary Ann succeed in poisoning Bobby?
I mean, this is what I was beginning to think. The four, Nico, Tony.
Is she having an affair with Javier? Is you know, what is going on? I would like to know. So
well, that's what I was thinking. You know, is Tony and Nico and the other two, could they possibly be the three in the chair in front of Javier? Yeah, one of them has already been killed.
We don't know. Then you would assume you would have a flashback scenario, you know.
Yeah. Well, just because they say they're going out for a bit of robbery, is it Javier they rob?
True. Thank you, guys. Anything else?
Yeah, I actually liked the way that it was almost like a vignette for each person, and it didn't intercut in between them, to be honest with you, because I don't know what's going to happen next, and it kind of held my interest to kind of like, okay, maybe I want to stick around and see what happens next, instead of being like, oh, this isn't connected. I liked that it was, we don't know yet. Like, I liked that.
Cool. Okay. I thought for a minute you were
enjoyed it, though.
drinking.
That's it.
Okay.